Alright, what's going on, everybody? So I know this situation is quote-unquote over and whatnot, and this is something that unfolded a few days ago and everything at this point. Like, everyone kind of already, I think, at least who, follows the commentary community knows what happened. But the only reason I'm even making this follow-up video is because a couple of Discord calls with John Swan actually ended up getting leaked by other commentators, and they have been kind of covered. They've been brought out to the public eye and everything here for people to take a look at, to kind of see, I guess, a little bit behind the scenes on this whole situation, because unfortunately, so many people were taken by surprise by John Swan's actions when it came down to this whole Dream situation, I guess is the best way to put it. If you somehow don't know what happened, John Swan and Dream got into a beef because of, basically, John Swan was trolling Dream. Dream made a Reddit post about it, John Swan took it, kind of blew it up, brought a bunch of attention to it. Dream made a stream where he was trying to debunk a lot of what John Swan was saying. The commentary community defended John Swan because at the time, all of the pieces honestly lined up and it looked like John Swan was telling the truth, that he wasn't actually involved in this. But it turns out that John Swan was lying the entire time. He went to extreme lengths and did everything that he could to cover himself and to fabricate this giant lie that has now been unraveled. John Swan has since then basically ghosted from the entire internet. He deactivated on Twitter and has basically run from the accountability that he claimed that he was taking. As of right now, it's still up in the air whether or not he's ever actually going to try and make a comeback. It doesn't matter, but at this point, I want to cover these calls, because the two calls that I've heard, which I don't know if these are the only two calls that have taken place, but one that was released in a video by Willie Mack's show, and then another one that I watched on Tommy C's Shot from the Point, they really bring a lot of new perspective into this situation, and it really comes to show just how much of a manipulative person that John Swan actually is. How he tried to manipulate his closest online YouTube friends into basically complying with him so that he could continue this lie. It's absolutely insane. So Nicholas Diorio, who was a close friend of John Swan and is someone that I would consider an online friend as well, is kind of like, I guess, the main character in this whole backstory here beside John Swan, because he's the one who is involved in these calls for the most part. He's the one who helped take a pretty public stance against what John Swan did, right? Like, he brought the threat out and everything as it kind of was unfolding. And it seems like, honestly, he was one of the people most hurt by this entire thing, and you're going to hear that in these conversations, I think. So, it involves John Swan and Nicholas Diorio. This is kind of like when everything first started unraveling, right? This is when Nicholas Diorio, I guess, had information in the back end of things. I guess a bunch of commentators kind of had information about this and knew that this was all like a bunch of BS for a while. And then, of course, Nick got access to this information through everything being passed around, and he decided to confront John Swan. That's my understanding of the situation. And I'm going to go ahead and show you what unfolds next.
There's no way that you could have, it doesn't add up, dude. I can't tell you what I know, because it's just like, I don't think the person's going to release it. There's no way that you and Cobra were just fucking around with Harley or whatever, and then you didn't expect Dream to respond, and you just you made up something on the spot or whatever, and then you just you weren't expecting it to ever come back up again, and it came back up again, and it was just a big shit show, and you just tried to bury it, and then it got bigger, and then you just fucking made a document. There's no way that's what happened.
That is exactly what happened.
I'm trying really hard here because Nick.
Dude, I'm not gonna go make a fucking video on you. Okay, I'm just asking because I want to know, because I feel like I already know the answer, so it's really there's no reason to lie to me.
If you know the answer, then you know the answer.
So you did it.
I mean, when you hear this call, you can tell, obviously, Nick is pretty hurt by all this, right? Because when you think about all the people who came to John's defense when this unfolded, Nick is pretty high up there, right? Like, Nick came out with a big video about the entire subject and everything. He was very publicly defensive of John Swan, because from all of our knowledge of John Swan, from our interactions with him and everything, this didn't seem like something he'd be behind. And then you hear this, right? You hear how John Swan so coldly responds to all of this, as Nick is genuinely trying to understand the situation here. It's fucked up, because John this whole time knew that Nick was putting his neck out, right? That he was basically risking a lot of his credibility, which is important as a commentary YouTuber like Nick to have that credibility. He knew that he was sticking all of that out on the line, and he didn't care. He did not care he didn't care about the ramifications that this could have had for anyone else. I mean, he's talking like a fucking Bond villain here, right? Like, this genuinely seems like a movie character, right? That John Swan is portraying here. If you know, you know. Like, who are you, Pusha T? Like, the fact that he went to such lengths that even in a private conversation with Nick, he was trying to dance around answering the question, it just shows, like, how far he really was willing to go. He was willing to burn personal bridges with people that he was considered friends with. He was willing to put the credibility of countless people on the line. And even when being confronted with the knowledge that Nick had, this is how John behaved. No remorse in his voice, no empathy, nothing for any way that anyone else might feel about this whole subject. And I get that in the grand scheme of things, right? It's not like John killed somebody. I mean, I understand that this is just YouTube drama for most people, but when you genuinely look at the bridges that John burned and the way that he manipulated people, it's fucking telling of what kind of person John is, at least in my opinion. Someone who can go to these lengths, man, to do something like this is not somebody who's just gonna come back and be a normal person. Like, this is fucking psychotic. And one thing I'd love to point out between both of these calls, which I know you haven't heard the second one yet, but you've heard the first one, and you can kind of tell, right? John Swan doesn't sound sorry. He's not sorry, in all reality. But John Swan, when all of this became public, right? When Nick made that thread, when other YouTubers started talking about it early in that morning, right? John was extremely quick to jump onto social media and put out this big fucking message, oh, I'm taking accountability. I'm taking accountability for this. I know what I did was wrong. I know that I messed up, guys. I'm sorry. You know, this was just a big mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm taking accountability. But this is the way that he was behaving behind the scenes. This is the way that he spoke to people who he considered friends. This is the way that he tried to keep this whole puzzle from just falling apart by behaving this way. I mean, you think about all the different things, right? Like Bo Blacks, right? Who's another person that I'd consider an online friend. He's autistic, right? And he uses his platform to spread awareness about autism and autism facts, things like that, right? The fact that John so coldly, like, manipulated Bo Blacks into kind of helping to frame this 12-year-old autistic kid for what John actually ended up doing. Like, if you know the story, John used an autistic 12-year-old family friend as a scapegoat for this situation, but at the same time was manipulating Bo Blacks, who once again is autistic, into, like, helping him, like, describe this character that he had made up. I mean, absolutely fucking unbelievable, to be honest with you. I mean, now I want to go through the second call and show some of that audio to you here. This is coming from Tommy C's Shot from the Point. And I want to give credit to the people in this situation, right? I don't think people like Willie Mac Show, I don't believe he's a bad person. I think he's a good guy from the interactions that I've had with him, which have been limited, of course. But I think Willie's a good person. I think Bo Blacks is a good person. I think Nick is a good person. I think that Tommy C is a good person. I think a lot of the people involved in this tipster, I think from my interactions with them, these are good people, right? And to see these people who have been pretty good to me, right? Like in our interactions together, to see these people who've shown me pretty good intentions with the content that they make, good vibes and everything from them. It sucks to see them be placed in this kind of situation, man. Like, I really do like these people. These are good people, and to see the fact that, like, John was able to fuck with them like this, it kind of upsets me as a person. I know that might sound a little ridiculous, but I just really don't like seeing people get fucked like this, man. I just something about it. I mean, I'm upset that, like, I defended John Swan and he didn't care about, you know, the fact that I stood up for him, but I think it's entirely different with these people, because from what I understand, these were like online close friends of his, like people that maybe he talked to every day, or at least much more frequently than we did, and it's fucking disgusting. But with that being said, you know, I'm not gonna hype them up the whole video or whatever. Here's the call to, quote unquote, from Tommy C's Shot from the Point. Go ahead and take a listen to some of this.
I had to. I know. No, I did. I definitely did.
No.
What?
No. What the fuck,
John.
dude? You...
Talk. Go.
No, it's just why,
dude. I don't know. I feel like I've taken a lot of punches for you, dude. I feel like, I mean, you know what this makes me think of, dude? I think this makes me think of the time that I cracked the joke on a live stream saying, what if A-Star lied? And it made a whole big credibility issue, and we got into a huge fucking fight over that. And, like, I start to wonder now, like, what if fucking A-Star lied? I start to wonder now, like, what happened to the fucking lawsuit? I start to, and all these could be totally, like, ridiculous, right? But I'm just sitting here thinking, it's just like, you haven't been fucking upfront with me in any capacity. Why would, like, holy shit, dude. And it's just, if you're gonna be fucking lying to me, then what the fuck are you... I don't know. I thought we were, like, cooler than that. I thought you wouldn't, like, fucking, like, completely screw me over. What you really expect from me here? I have, like, a moral truth capacity thing.
What? No. No, dude.
What is the way, dude? How do I do it better?
This is not the way.
What
Fucking delete that immediately.
What did I do wrong? What's wrong about it? What do you want me to... Like, what would I change?
Just... What the fuck, dude?
Look, dude, I feel bad enough already, but I'm not gonna just sit here and just, like, get fucking guilt-tripped. Do you have something to say that makes this make any sense to me?
Okay, alright.
That's a lot of money, I guess.
Come on, dude, just tell me the sob story so I can tell you I don't fucking care about it.
No,
I don't. No, I
fucking
really
care
don't.
about
I'm
it.
not,
That's
like,
not what
like
the
seriously, I
point
don't. Can you just, like, get it off? Like, did your dog die? Like, what do you need me to say?
is. No, it's just fucking... I don't... Oh... No, you don't care anyway, so it doesn't matter.
What, dude? What? What is going on?
So what you just heard from, you know, my point of view here is John Swan attempting to play the victim, okay? John Swan, he created this whole lie. He went along with it. It's all his fault. But now that Nick, who wanted to obviously do the right thing, who wanted to tell the right story, when he went public with all this, John Swan immediately resorted to playing the victim. He immediately resorted to attempting to manipulate Nick, who once again, I can't stress this enough, was a good friend of John Swan's. I don't know if they're going to be friends after this. It's really not my business. I don't really give a fuck. But they were friends. He had him in this situation and was trying to manipulate him, trying to get him to keep this under wraps with him, trying to play the victim in a way that made it out like everyone was going to gang up on John Swan. Oh, poor pitiful John Swan. He was going to be held accountable for what he did. So once again, you notice that stark contrast, right? Between the public response that John gave, oh, I'm taking accountability. I know I did wrong. And the way that he behaved in the back scenes of everything here, it's complete contrasts. They're two different people. You have a fucking Marvel supervillain in the Discord calls, but you have somebody who's turned a new leaf on social media. It's fucking insane to me that this situation has unfolded in the way that it has. It's fucking insane to me that John Swan went to the lengths that he did. It's fucking insane to me. That's something that probably would have ended up really a nothing burger, got blown up into this. In all reality, if John Swan either didn't address the Dream Reddit, or if he just came out and said, yeah, you know what, it was me, okay? You know, it was me, I'm sorry for it, but it was something stupid I did, like a year and a half ago, I feel like people would not have cared. Because John Swan had a reputation beside him, you know, of being this person all about, you know, truth and dignity in his content and honesty. I really don't think people would have cared that deeply. And if they would have, it would have been an issue for like 2 days, right? It would not have been something that ruined his career. But he went down this route and dragged all these people with him in this situation down, performed some of the most insane theatrics I've ever seen in a YouTube drama, all for this to be the outcome. I mean, I really don't even know what else to say. Like, you've heard the audio, you heard everything. I'm going to go ahead and link both calls down below if you want to listen to them in their entirety. I think that both videos were pretty good. I think they covered the subject very well. I want to thank Willie and, of course, Tommy and everyone else involved in the situation for all the work that they kind of put into this to kind of, I guess, tell the truth and to kind of expose what really happened here. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus. Well, just stunned to say the least, man, and signing out.